On her wedding day, the princess was thrown into the abyss by the prince. As she fell, she had no idea why he would do this to her. It wasn't until she saw her scattered jewelry on the ground that she realized she was a sacrifice for the dragon. Before she could process it, flames burst out from the dragon's mouth right in front of her. Panicked, she ran as fast as she could into a cave, hoping to escape. She thought she had dodged the deadly attack until she turned a corner and saw the charred remains of another woman. Terrified, she tried to run again, desperate to avoid the dragon's flames. But as she bolted, the hem of her dress got caught on the rocky wall. The fire closed in on her. At the very last second, she ripped herself free, but not fast enough. Flames scorched her left leg. Biting her lip to hold back a scream, she forced herself to stay silent. She couldn't risk making a sound. The dragon might strike again. Once everything went quiet, she pulled a dagger from her chest. She tore a strip of fabric from her dress and wrapped it around her wound. Then she took out a lamp cover, one that could hold fire, and used it to light her way. She crawled into a narrow cave tunnel, hoping to find an exit, but she wasn't careful. Her foot slipped, and she tumbled into a tight rock crevice. Panic set in as she struggled to break free. Luckily, the gap was wide enough for her to force herself out, but in the process she lost her only source of light. Just when it seemed hopeless, she noticed a faint glow deeper in the cave. It wasn't much, but it was enough to see her surroundings, and that's when she realized she was standing at the edge of a cliff. She took a deep breath, steadied herself, and leaped across, but the other side was too steep. She started sliding back down. Acting fast, she pulled out her dagger and jammed it into the rock. Dangling by one arm, she struggled to climb up. After a grueling effort, she finally pulled herself onto solid ground. As she approached the glowing light, she discovered the source. It wasn't rocks at all, but a cluster of bioluminescent insects. She quickly scooped them into a cloth pouch to use as a lantern. With the faint glow guiding her, she spotted markings on the cave walls. A path, a way out. She traced the path back to the tunnels she had already traveled and immediately figured out the right direction. Wasting no time, she tore off the rest of her tattered skirt and followed the marked route. Soon she found a passage lined with crystals, and on the ground she spotted a crown. Someone had escaped this way before. That gave her hope. She ripped more fabric from her dress and wrapped it around her hands and feet for grip. Then, using the crown, she hooked onto the crystals, pulling herself up step by step. After what felt like an eternity, she finally emerged from the cave, free at last.